There's so much stuff in human design. There's so many things to distract you, and there's so many things that seem to be very interesting, whether that's purpose and incarnation crosses and all of the minutiae and lines and their interpretation. Most people who just show up, who download their software and they get a chance to see their design or people around them, without the advantage of a human design analyst doing a reading for you, you really don't have that experience of understanding that body graph is something that can be interpreted at a level that is really shocking because it is so revealing in its nature. And without that advantage, there is a real mystery about, well, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this body graph? What am I going to do with this information? Not everyone has access to an analyst. Not everyone is ready to invest in having an analyst. After all, most of you come here and benefit from Jovian's policy of trying to make available all of these basics in human design for free. So I want to be able to give you some just very straightforward advice. The first thing that you really have to do is that you have to find out if any of this is of any value for you directly. Now, about 80%, but actually between 75 and 80% of the people that will come to this site to download their charts, to listen to this information, they're going to be energy types. That is, they're either going to be manifestors or they're going to be generators, whether they're pure generators or manifesting generators. These are all energy types. And when we're looking at the two energy types, there is an inherent advantage that exists in being an energy type. And the inherent advantage is the advantage in terms of discovering whether or not this knowledge is of value to you. The advantage is that you can find out right away, moment by moment, second by second. As an energy type, you can actually apply your strategy immediately. And it's the only thing that's necessary for you to do. You come and you discover that you're a manifestor. Well, then you know that there is a very simple strategy for you as an adult, and that is simply to inform. Just inform. If you're walking down the street and there's someone in front of you, say, "Excuse me," don't just brush by them. If you brush by them, you're going to carry that aura reaction that they will have with you. If you want to run out of the house because you forgot something, let whoever is there know that's what you're going to do. Very, very simple things. At the moment, as a manifestor, you begin to experiment with informing. What you will discover is that every time you inform, you gain a certain bounce. You gain a certain amount of energy. It's actually your own. What you're really doing is eliminating resistance. You just are. And rather dragging behind you, because manifestors will tend to race ahead, rather than dragging behind you the resistance and resentment of others, you get them being positive in the way in which you leave their aura. All of that transforms the manifestor's life and takes away this deep, deep anger. Now, if you want to find out if human design is really something of value to you, something that you can explore later in depth if that's what you want to do, and you're a manifestor, well, there's only one thing necessary. Experiment with informing and see for yourself that it brings value, that it's useful, that it feels good, and that it makes life easier for you. Just try it. If you're a generator, you discover you're a generator. You've got this big red sacral center in the middle of your chart. Then you have to see that the only way for you is response. There is no other way. There is no other way. Don't initiate. Don't make decisions. Respond yes or no to things. Respond to things. Generators have an extraordinary opportunity to, at least from the psychological frame, wake almost immediately. There is this magic that is there for the generator. The generator is designed to surrender. You surrender to non-initiation. You surrender to responding. And it's only through response that you're going to discover those things that are truly for you, that are correct for you, that will eliminate resistance in your life. If you come and you get your chart and you see that you're a generator, you have to understand something. Your experiment is all about self-discovery. You're going to discover yourself. And you're going to discover yourself by simply taking a week out of your life, because it's all you need. Take a week out of your life and only respond. Don't initiate. Just respond. Don't make mental decisions. Just respond out of your sacral, and you'll see it's different. When your sacral says yes to something, you have everything you need for that experience. If you deny your sacral its authority, you are going to pay the price, and you're going to pay the price in continued frustration in your life. So for energy types, for manifestors to inform, or generators to respond, this is something you can find out right away. You don't have to wait years and years, and you don't have to go through reams of material to discover whether or not the essence of this knowledge is valuable for you. All you need to do is experiment with your strategy. And try it. Try it. You'll see. It's wonderful. It can and will transform your life. If you're a projector or a reflector, that's about 1/5 of humanity. If you're either a projector or a reflector, in many ways when you come to human design, you can often feel like you're getting a raw deal, if you'll pardon the pun. It's not true, but it can seem that way. After all, when you're dealing with energy types, they have the possibility of being able to substantiate the knowledge right away. They have an opportunity to be able to experiment with their strategy immediately. That's not the case for projectors or reflectors. The vast majority of the non-energy types, nearly 20% of humanity, are projectors. Reflectors represent somewhere around 1%. If you're a non-energy type, and you haven't had the advantage of a reading, it is going to be a while before you actually accept that you've met something that is truly profound and useful for you in your life. First of all, to begin with, in terms of projectors, every projector that comes into the world needs to find some kind of a system in order to be able to relate to the world around it and to understand the world around it. Those systems can be exoteric, those systems can be esoteric, but whatever they are, the system is the medium. And it is a medium because projectors are not here to understand themselves directly. They're not. Their gift is to recognize others. And in recognizing others, be open to recognition themselves. That's why the strategy of the projector is waiting for the formal invitation. And obviously formal invitations are something that are not commonplace in the life. And the formal invitation that is significant, that has to do with major issues in the life, this is where they have the chance to be able to live out this strategy. So it's not like that's going to happen the moment that they meet human design and see their body graph. If you look carefully, if you go to the web blog, for example, of Jovian Archive, you will see that we have a projector endowment. That is, we offer projectors the opportunity to have discounts on their education. And if you are a projector listening to this and you've just begun your journey in human design, remember that what's really important for you is to grasp the basics of this knowledge now and to begin to apply it not to yourself, but to begin to apply it to those around you that you are truly familiar with. In that way, very quickly, very clearly, you'll begin to see the validity of the system as a tool for you. And it is this value as a tool for you that slowly will transform you as well. When you see those aspects in the other, that are aspects that you also have, in that way you begin to understand yourself. Remember that everyone, regardless of their type, is on the same timetable to awakeness. It takes 7 years biologically to transform the vehicle. It takes 7 years to decondition the cells. And whether you're a generator that can respond in the moment, or you're a projector waiting for the invitation, you all get to the same end at the same time. So don't feel like it is a disadvantage. Recognize the gift. Projectors ultimately are here to guide. And who they're truly here to guide are generators who are here to build. Generators are not here to be slaves any more than projectors are here to be leaders. They're here to have a unique relationship, and it begins with the capacity of the projector to be able to understand and grasp the nature of the other and how they work, and in that way be able to guide them to an advantage for both in the end. If you're a reflector, it isn't so much that you can discover yourself through the other, but you can understand your place through understanding the imprinting that everyone receives all the time. We call this the program. And just like the projector, the reflector needs to invest time in understanding the way in which the mechanism works in order to begin the process of self-discovery. There's a lot of information available both here at Jovian Archive and at the various official sites in human design, particularly national organizations and educational organizations. If you're a newcomer to human design, one of the things that I do recommend is that you have a reading. An individual reading is really a key to beginning your experience in the human design system. If you go to the International Human Design School Registry, the IHDS registry is an online registry of all professional analysts and teachers worldwide.